Tonight, President Akufo-Addo says he will not fall for calls for a reshuffle, which he referred to as a propagandist agenda being pushed by the opposition NDC. He was speaking on Northern Star Radio in Tamale as part of his Northern Regional Tour.
A lot of noise about this matter.
Okay.
But several of the people who are responsible for assisting me to steer the country out of the difficulties that we inherited and out of the difficulties that have subsequently come are still in place.
Okay.
And many of them, for me, have done an outstanding work. Their output has been considerable. And that's what I look at.
Okay.
There's an issue about reshuffle or the performance of ministers. It isn't as if it is something that every now and then my mind comes to.
Okay.
It's a daily preoccupation for me.
Yeah.
I'm required on a daily basis to ask myself whether the output of particular ministers is up to the mark. But I am not the final authority, and if they're not up to the mark, I'm required to act.
Yeah.
But if the output measures the expectations, then I don't have any strong reasons to heed the call.
Okay.
The calls come from all kinds of reasons. NDC wanting to destabilize your government is one. There are people who are also looking for jobs. But I also think it is important for us to have a really holistic look at this matter and be certain of what we're doing.
We're staying on this subject a while longer. It's been a national conversation with even persons within the NPP pushing for President Akufo-Addo to reshuffle his team. Let's speak to Dr. Amoakoba, who is a former political science lecturer and a member of the NPP himself. Good evening, Doc. Thank you for your time.
Good evening.
To start with, the president says all these calls are unnecessary. They're actually propagandist and believes that this current team has been outstanding. What are your thoughts?
Well, I don't know what he's using for the definition of outstanding. If you are outstanding, you don't go to the IMF. If you are outstanding, you don't get nationwide strikes. You don't do that. That, I'm sorry, is called failure. I can't say it any other way. When the moment you go to IMF, it means you surrendered. It means I can't do this thing. It means I need help. It means it's out of my hands. That's what it means, you see. So if they have helped you to get into a ditch, you cannot say they are outstanding at the same time when you are at IMF.
Doc, the president...
I'm sorry.
Right. But the president, as part of his submission, said that when they took power in 2016, Ghana was on an IMF program. It was these same men and women that helped him get Ghana out of the IMF program. So he is confident that they will be able to get him out of this current economic conundrum. You think that it is certainly a team he needs to reshuffle and must change?
Well, the whole argument is not logical. The people who are outstanding, they took you out of IMF. These same people cannot take you back to IMF. That's the problem. If they are that good, how did they get you back to IMF? That's the question that needs to be answered. You see, there are other things involved here. It's money. The government does not have money. We all know that. And so most of these ministers, they never get the resources they need to do their job. So how do you assess excellence or failure? That's part of the problem. So if you didn't give the person the tools he needed, the finances he needed to do his job, how do you find him? That's the question. And so this is all part of the equation.
Right. And Doc, the argument about the current performance of the government has come up for question. Who in his appointees would you want to immediately reshuffle if you had the power to do so?
Well, that's the problem. I can't reshuffle anybody because if you have not provided, you appoint somebody a teacher, you don't give him a chalk, don't give him a textbook, there's no chalkboard. How do you assess whether he's a good teacher or not? That's the problem. So I cannot fire anybody.
Yeah, but if you are agreeing with calls for a reshuffle, then you also must have then identified persons that need to change position. So if you are to advise the president, for instance, what would your advice be in terms of reshuffling?
Well, the point is this. There is no single person anywhere in the world who is so smart that nobody can outperform him. So you have so many people in your party. This is not about me seeking for a job or anything. You have so many people. People have aspirations, right? You put this one there, 2 years, 3 years, bring somebody else, not necessarily fire the other one. Send in someone else, another person comes. By all means, there will be instances where you see the new person performs better. But if you don't give anybody the chance, how are you going to find out? That's the problem. It is good for your party too, because your party, you have so many people, not just those who were first appointed. So why are you not looking at anybody else? I'm not talking about myself, because I've said it. If the president asks me for help, I'll do it.
Doctor,
if he gives me an appointment, I won't take it.
You won't take it?
No, not appointment. But if he says, come help me do this, I'll do that.
All right. Dr. Richard Amakoba, thank you so much for your time this evening.